Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Advisory Plan Commission for this special meeting for Tuesday, April 21st, 2020. 7 p.m. was our start. We had a little issue, technical issues getting logged in, but I think we're all logged in. Thank you everyone for being patient this evening. We can get a roll call, please.
Aaron Roberts.
Here.
Mike Devine.
Here.
Bill Engel.
Here.
Glenn Clark.
Here.
Joe Price.
Here.
Greg Steens. Here. Al Bledsoe. Annette Lester. Vicki Robinson.
Okay, we do have 6 board members present tonight, which is a quorum. We have no minutes to review this evening, and proof of publication, please.
Thank you. This notice was published in advance. It states the time, date, and place, and the items on the agenda for tonight's meeting. I would ask the board to make a motion to accept the proof of publication.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we accept proof of publication.
I'll second it, Mike Devine.
We have a motion and a second for proof of publication. All in favor to approve, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Passes. Thank you very much. For our only business item for this evening, it's going to be business item S2-2020, petition of Reed Hospital Health and Healthcare Incorporated with Gordon Moore as the agent. And Gordon, if you could tell us about this, please, I'd appreciate it.
Certainly.
And
First of all,
state your name and address too, please, for the
sure.
record.
Gordon Moore with Beals Moore and Associates, 122 South 8th Street, representing Reed Hospital. I want to thank everybody for taking time to do this. We have contractors on site and waiting to start this project and proceed ahead. So I do appreciate it, this special meeting. This goes back to 2003, and I think it may have been 2005 when the planned unit development for Reed Hospital was originally approved. I hope that all of you have seen what they originally proposed. On the south side of Engle Drive, they had originally proposed that a parking lot be in the space that we're talking about today, which contains approximately 9/10 of an acre. And it's part of the almost 16 acres which lies south of Reed Parkway, which is currently owned by Reed Hospital. So what we're proposing to do is construct a new child day center where the parking lot was at on the south side of Engle Drive, east of Chester Boulevard. This child care will be for the employees. It's too bad we haven't had it in the last month or so, but this will be for the employees working at Reed Hospital. We've designed it so that they can drop their children off coming in from the west, pull into the center, drop their kids off, and then proceed on to the north and into Reed's parking lot. Down at the southeast corner of the Reed property, north of Oak Park, if you had that drawing, you could see there was a retention basin, a rather large one. And what we've done is had to design 2 basins in that location because of the location of a sanitary sewer. But following getting this approval, we will commence with construction of that basin. And that basin will handle everything that is going to be developed on the south side of Reed Parkway. And there's been a lot of construction in that area in the past, and somebody had excavated out a lot of that area. But that's where the basin's going to go. It'll handle all the drainage from this. Sanitary sewers, of course, are available. Water's available. Driveways, we've been through this with the Richmond Sanitary District, stormwater management. I believe there's no question about where the property is located. With setbacks, we meet all the requirements. So if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions for the petitioner from the board?
I have a question.
Sir?
Gordon, is this where the old retention pond used to be?
Not that I'm aware of that there was a retention pond there. I can't answer that, I guess. I don't have an answer for that question. This is all high ground. I can't imagine there's ever any detention there. If the water would have had to run uphill to get to this. We've had to cut down a lot of this lot And on the west side, we've got a retaining wall all along the west side and the south side, probably 6 feet high, at least 6 feet high. So no, I don't think this area was ever used as a detention basin in the past.
I can pull it up on that.
There used to be one that was all overgrown.
It's Creek. It was.
Yeah, it's all overgrown, filled with trees.
Okay, I was unaware of that.
I've been here 40 years.
Any other questions for the petitioner from the board? Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead and open up the public hearing at this point in time. If there are anyone from the public who would like to speak in favor of petition S2 2020, please state your name and address for the record, please. Hearing no one in favor of, anyone in opposition of S20 2020, please state your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, this is Kathy Miller. Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I am not for or against. I just actually have a couple of questions.
Oh, you can go ahead and ask those, and we can see if we can, if the
About
petitioner
her address.
would be willing
Okay,
to
it is
answer those. Yeah, what's your address?
2339 Stony Brook Lane. We are the primary property that the south side retaining wall butts into.
Okay.
Okay, so our first question is, so at some point between 10 and 15 years ago, the city supported the drainage area between the housing that runs south of University Boulevard. It did not carry forward north of University Boulevard, which pretty much includes all the houses that run along Stony Brook Lane. So the first question is anyone going to be considering building that up so that these houses are supported as well? And the second one is we woke up last week, a couple of times to construction on that south side retaining wall. And there was a natural buffer that was already there that provided privacy to the homeowners. Would like to know if the hospital has plans to replace that so that there is that privacy restored, kind of like a safety issue as well.
Okay, I don't know if anybody's here that can answer those questions, but Gordon, did you hear those questions, and do you know of any of that?
Yes, I did, and I think I can address them, although I can't commit to what the buffer will be in between the south line and this is part of Oak Park. However, I will say that we have topoed this entire area where the detention basin's at. Not only are we designing to handle all the flow coming off of everything south of the road, but we're going to have a rather large levee. We will be choking the water down even further than what it exists right now. So if there has been some flooding issues, there's a stream down on the southeast corner of this property that runs into Oak Park. And our design, which is, of course, has to go through your approval process with stormwater management, and they've been involved in this for the last few months. We're going to be choking this water down even further than what it is right now. The two basins, as I said, we had one designed originally, but we found a sanitary sewer unknown to everybody, the exact location. So we had to split these two basins. And in doing so, we're going to have a lot more capacity and over-design because we get credits for that. The Reed Hospital will get credits for retaining this water on site, like they have on the detention basins on the north side as well. So there'll be less water. Now, as far as the buffer itself, we're leaving some trees along the south side, which would be in between the property and the detention basin. So it won't be visible. Could be visible maybe in the summer or in the winter time, but the majority of the time it'll be blocked. But I know of no plans to put a buffer wall or anything of that nature at this point. As we proceed further, you can tell by the drawing what they proposed. There's a a lot of development that can take place here yet. And we're not addressing that at this time, just strictly the child care center.
Okay, so if I can address that, yes, all trees have been cut down. We have zero buffer on that south side wall. There was a natural buffer that was there, and they have all been torn down. We now have full visibility to this retention area.
Well, there will be, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to share that there actually is a significant amount of water that runs along the homes on Stony Brook Lane when there's a high flow of rain. So I'm curious, will this continue, or are you going to be able to fix that as well?
Well, some of it will be captured during this project, and as this site is future developed, almost the majority of it will be diverted surface water into the detention basin. Now, I can't promise you all that's going to happen on this little project, this little portion. We've got 16 acres to develop. What we're addressing right now is just about less than an acre. But we are going to collect some of the water coming off of this site into swales, run it into the new detention basin. And so it may slow it down, but I can't guarantee that will happen right away. What we're trying to do is collect the water only on this 8/10. But in the future, as that all develops, new storm sewers, there will be a new roadway running east-west through this property with storm sewers. And that'll all be diverted into the basin itself. Now, if all trees have been cleared, we have had a contractor on site. There will be new trees planted along the south side of that detention basin, in between the detention basin and the Oak Park.
You hear that? They're going to be planting trees along there.
It was necessary to remove the majority of so that we can do the grading that is going to be required. Again, there will be a very large levee along the south side of this detention basin, and then with pipes coming out of it going into the existing stream.
Kathy, does that answer your questions, or do you have any other statements or comments?
No, that actually provided clarity. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your time. Anyone else
Thank you.
here to speak in opposition of S2 2020? Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Is there somebody else there? Okay.
Would you like to go ahead?
Yeah.
State your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Lenny Oxy, and I live at 1105 Hartman Lane. And all of this butts up directly in front of my house. And I'm not really opposed or approve of this. I would just have liked somebody to have brought me a plan to show me what you're planning to do. Right now, my house is like a Fort Knox at night with Reed Hospital's lights and the occupational therapy lights. You know, I'll probably have more lights with the child care. I do run blackout curtains, but just knowing what you're going to do, because this woods, that was supposedly my lane, which was undrivable until recently when you came through with the choppers. But I still, I would like you just to buy my house and get me out of the area. I'd be a north-south exit for you, or yeah, north-south. But other words, is there a way I can get a picture of what you're planning?
I can pull it up now. Let's see. And would the rest of you like me to share my screen so you can all look at them on the screens? Would that be helpful? Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Just one moment.
That's a lane off the house. Then it faces all this.
This way. That's the general site plan. So this is directly to the north of the rehab facility off of Eagle Drive. So it's got parking on both the east and the west sides, the main building there, and a fenced-in kind of playground area in the back of the property. And so if we look on the map too, it's right in this portion of that big wooded area. I'm cutting it off about where the stop of the mouse.
Yeah. And where the mouse is, that's about where you would drive right through my house.
Okay.
If you went straight ahead.
You know, page on that.
What was that?
It's to show where her house is now.
And your house is this one, correct? Okay,
Yeah, the second one.
okay.
So you're gonna leave that much of the woods there?
From my understanding, what they're being proposed to be worked is just that top square area, that rectangular area.
Okay.
For this particular,
Correct.
this
For this portion of it, yes.
But they plan to develop the whole acreage, right?
Eventually
Eventually.
is what they're wanting to do.
Could you pull up the drawing that shows the retention area?
And the retention area, yes, one moment. And I'll reshare this so you can all see the retention area as well. Because I think it's only showing the screen.
I live higher than them, so I'm not too quick.
One moment, everybody. Thanks for bearing with me here. And then the retention area is shown down in that corner of the green area.
There's existing retention area in the far east. That's already the retention area on the far.
Okay. Any other comments, ma'am?
No.
Okay, thank you.
would you want any of these records?
No, can I get online and get that picture?
Yeah, do you have an email? Or if you
Yes, I do.
we have hard copies too. What's better? I can email you or he can give you a copy from the packet.
Or are they on Laserfish?
They're on Laserfish. So if you have an email address, I can send you a link where you can get access to them.
Sure. It's lg93806@gmail.com.
So lg93806@gmail.
Uh-huh.
Okay, sounds good. I will get those to you first thing tomorrow morning.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Could I address a couple of those issues?
Sure, go right ahead, sir.
Number one is, as I said earlier, this site is so high that we're going to have retaining walls along the west and the south side. So where the building's at itself, what the existing ground is there now, we are taking out about 6 foot of that elevation. So we will drop it down. So from this lady's house, she may be able to see the roof, but not the majority of the building. And as far as the lighting itself, we won't have any lighting coming off of this track. We will light the parking lots both to the west and the east side, but it'll go to the north and onto the building. So there's no proposal to have any lighting that would go into the south that could be visible. They're shining onto somebody else's property.
Thank you. Is the other caller unmuted, Matt?
They are.
And is there anyone else to speak in opposition of S2 2020? Please state your name and address for the record, please. I know we have one more caller. Are you wishing to speak at all in opposition or for?
No.
Okay, thank you. All right, hearing no other comments or no one else, I'll go ahead and close public hearing at this time. If we go ahead and get the staff report, please.
Thank you. Once again, this is petition S2-2020. The petitioner, Reed Hospital and Healthcare Services, Inc. is the owner and Gordon Moore is the agent, requesting a secondary plat for approval of the planned unit development at Reed Hospital to develop a child care center. Location is 0 Reed Parkway. The underlying zoning is the institutional or IS district, and this is within the North Corridor overlay as well. Adjoining zoning to the north is general commercial and institutional. To the south is urban residential and high-density single-family residential. To the east is high-density single-family residential and institutional. And to the west is all general commercial. We notified 19 adjacent property owners and did not receive any written responses. And the petitioner would like to begin development of the wooded parcel to the south of Reed Hospital, which is outlined in the 2002 concept plan and 2004 development plan as a general medical campus, but never received secondary and final approval. The planning staff considers the development of a child care center to be in keeping with the concept of the Reed Hospital PUD, requiring only secondary approval. A child care facility is considered a non-commercial institutional use, which is in keeping with the medical campus concept of the PUD. Staff recommends approval. The proposal is consistent with setbacks, parking, and all other development standards of the IS district. And happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Any questions for staff? Hearing none and seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
I'll move approval.
There's a motion for approval of S2 2020. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second, thank you. If we could get the roll call, please.
Aaron Roberts,
Aye.
Mike Devine,
Aye.
Bill Engel,
Aye.
Glenn Clark,
Aye.
and Joe Price,
Aye.
and Greg Stevens.
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes. That is the only item for business this evening. Is there, real quick, our meeting this Thursday, we don't have any agenda items this Thursday, so we will have no meeting this Thursday. The next meeting is scheduled for May 28th, 2020. Deadline for that will be this Thursday for any filing deadlines for that meeting. If there is nothing else, I would entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. Thank you.
Aye.
Aye.